AI professionals, techies, they would dream for a career in Google. You had that and then you let it go. At what point of time did it strike you that even this is not good enough?
At a place which is like a dream company. Something happened after like 6 months.
Was it a very difficult decision when you decided to let go of the Google job and dive hands-on?
But then I realized like you have to be consistent in the content space. Otherwise you can't grow. As a software engineer, if you're working at Google, you can get anywhere between like, let's say, starting from 40 in a year, I'm saying. So 40 LPA, it can go up to 1.5 to that's it. Everyone on the internet is saying that leave your job and start content creation. Don't do that, right? Because
when it comes to a tech job, then you started your content creation journey, which is going so well right now. You have mastered all three: LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. Say somebody starting off content now, how different does the mindset, how different does it have to be as far as scripts are concerned, hooks are concerned, when it comes to LinkedIn, YouTube long form and Instagram?
totally different, right? So if you are managing all three platforms, like you have to juggle between different kind of mindsets.
What if I told you that the same guy who never himself applied to Google got headhunted by them, worked alongside an IIT JEE All India Rank 1 holder, and then left it all to become a content creator, a path completely different from what he started off doing? Well, that's exactly what happened to today's guest. Welcome to Creator Cashflow, the show where we uncover the real money stories behind successful creators. I'm your host, Korak Roy, and today we are here to break down how creator economy actually works, beyond just the brand deals, beyond the follow accounts that everyone talks about. Today's guest is Rishab Pan, ex-Google software engineer turned Mang interview coach who's built multiple six-figure income streams that most tech professionals don't even know exist. Let's welcome Rishab. Rishab, how are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Korak. I'm good. Very excited for this podcast.
Lovely to hear that. You know, when I got to know that I'll be doing the podcast with you, so many questions came into my head. But the first one that I want to start off with is such an anomaly when it comes to an engineering career. It is not normal at all. You not even applying, but getting headhunted by Google itself. How did that even happen?
So it started back in 2021. So back then I was working with Flipkart at that time. Even I didn't have any idea like, how to apply to Google, how should I approach and all that. Even I didn't even think about applying to Google. But then one fine day I got a mail from one of the recruiter and I was very shocked. Firstly, I thought like it's a scam or something, but then it was a real thing. So I had a conversation with him and then he said that, yeah, he's coming from Google, and then he approached me for an interview, right? And then after that, like it started.
This was how many years into the career?
So this was about like till that point, I had around 3 years of experience.
Now, I want to ask you one thing. That this was actually, I had planned that I'll ask this later half, but I want to ask it straight away. You know, most engineers, most AI professionals, techies, they would dream for a career in Google. You had that and then you let it go. At what point of time did it strike you that even this is not good enough?
So it's not about thinking in this direction that this is not good enough, but it's actually a very long story. Like when I started working at Google, so many things happened, life was good, and I was working at a place which is like a dream company for everyone, right? So that was there for me as well. But then something happened after like 6 months down the line. So I used to get a lot of questions from students, right? And they used to ask like, "Bhaiya, kya karna hai isme?" and all that. Now I used to guide them through LinkedIn messages, but then I realized that it's not possible to reply to each and every one of them.
Valid.
Because I was doing a full-time job. And then, so I decided that, okay, let's put out some content sort of thing, right? So at that time I thought like, let's write a blog sort of thing. So I wrote a blog, I basically posted on LinkedIn, and then it gathered a lot of likes as well.
I'm so sorry, which year was this?
So this was in early 2022.
Early 2022.
Yeah.
Just about some months and 1 year after COVID.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Tell us what happened then.
Yeah. So then I got a few likes, I got excited, and then I also realized that, I could be helping a lot of other students as well if I am putting out content. So that thought actually stuck with me. And then after a few days, I thought like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's keep putting out content. Let's talk about interview experiences. Let's talk about how should you prepare for the interviews and all. And then it just got started that way. So then I got a lot of feedback. People were saying this is very helpful and all. So then I realized that this can be a good thing. Content creation can impact a lot of people. And then I went into deep into content creation. I explored other platforms as well. Like I explored Instagram. I got to know about YouTube, right? So then I started creating videos as well, and it's been going on since then.
Do you watch movies?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you two examples of two, big blockbuster movies. So there's this very popular scene in Three Idiots where Farhan goes to the father and says that I'm not going to go and give the interview. And there's this scene in Dhoni where Dhoni quits his TT job and comes to his father and says, I'm going to give myself 1 year or a little more for cricket. Was it a very difficult decision when you decided to let go of the Google job and dive hands-on onto content creation? Was it difficult from family, friends? What was it like?
I would like to explain like two factors here. First part of it is about my decision, whether deciding like I should be leaving Google or not. And the second part is like handling family and other side, like friends and all, right? So on the first part, as I told you, like I started content creation like early 2022 and all, and then I started getting some traction and all. I kind of liked the whole space. And then what I did is like, I kind of tried to understand what this space is all about. Is there potential in this space or not? I mean, why so many people are getting into it, right? So then I researched a bit about it and then got to learn like what all revenue streams you can generate from it and all. After that, it was like a decision that should I be doing it with a job or should I be leaving the job and all. So initially my thought process was like what other people will be thinking as well. Like let's do it with a job. Let's do it part-time. So I also did the same thing.
For how long?
For like, let's say 6 months, a little more than 6 months. So at that time, what I was doing, I was creating content in the evening and night, and then I was doing a full-time job in the daytime.
Edit also yourself?
Yeah, at that time I used to edit myself. So, but it was very tough. It was very tough. Like, some days I used to get so tired that after coming back from office, it was not possible to shoot a content. And while you are shooting a content, right, you have to be like, with your full energy and stuff, right? So it was very difficult for me at that time. So then what used to happen is like, I was not that consistent. But then I realized like, you have to be consistent in the content space. Otherwise, you can't grow. So then I need to decide at that point that whether I should be moving away from the job or I should be, quitting content creation altogether. So then I remember one ideology at that time, okay? So this ideology actually comes from the founder of Amazon, who is Jeff Bezos, right? So he says that, if you are stuck in a situation like this, then you should be thinking about it's an one-way door, right? So let's say you are there and then it's a one-way door. If you go in through and you can't come back, then it's fine. Take your time, spend like months to think about it and like that. But if it's a two-way door, right, then, you should not be waiting for it. You should not be thinking about it because the more you think, it will get complicated, right? So it's like, so I try to think in that way, like, is it a one-way door or is it a two-way door? Firstly, does content creation has potential? Yes, it has potential. Does it feel interesting to me? Yes, that's also there. Third thing, is it a two-way door or not? It's a two-way door. Like if I try out content creation for like 1 year or 2 years, and if after that, let's say nothing happens, and then if I want to come back to my previous job in some other company or let's say Google, will I be able to do that? So that was my logical thought process, right? So just ticking off all the boxes that should I be doing it, but deep down I knew that I want to leave. That's why that's why I was doing all this stuff. So that was one part of it. So with this thing, I decided that, okay, I should be like leaving the job and pursue it full time and then figure out what happens, right? And the second thing, which was the most difficult thing, was convincing the family, right? So it was like, everyone was like, why do you want to leave such a job, right? So everyone was like, dreaming. Like when I got into Google, like everyone was so excited. You got into Google and all that stuff, right? So I even took my mom to this Google office in Bangalore, right? So she was like stunned, like this is amazing and all that.
Wow, what a
Right.
campus.
Yeah, right. And so it was very tough. It was very tough. Like so they were like, okay, you want to do this, but have you thought through this? Is it a good, career option? We have never, heard of content creation. What is it? Like, how will you make money and all that thing? So I had to like explain them everything. Now they are not very familiar with all this stuff, right? Like all this monetization stuff and all. They just know about the conventional paths, right? So they were like, okay, if you want to try out, let's try out. If nothing happens, then after 1 year or 2 years, you can come back again. So it's a safe option. Let's do it. So it was about that. The last part was a bit tough, but otherwise it was a logical decision. I felt that way. So yeah.
Which city were you working in Google for?
So I was working in Bangalore only.
You spoke about the package being one of the
Yeah.
perks that was there in Google. Offside question to that, a lot of people who want to say maybe leave a job, get into content creation, and one of the things that actually holds them back is the financial risk involved with it. How did you push yourself to kickstart the content journey hands-on, like not as a secondary option, as the frontline option? And how did that continue then?
It's very true actually. Like if you are getting into content creation, you have to factor that in, right? It's not all goody good sort of path, right? So when you start content creation, so for me, what happened so when I started content creation, in terms of financial, on the financial side, right? It was not that good. So I was definitely earning from this side, but it was not very good. So I took a kind of a risk, you can say, right? So that's obviously a factor, right? Firstly, you have to see the long picture. And secondly, I believe you have to believe in yourself as well, right? So if you feel this is something that interests you, if you feel you can literally impact so many lives, right? You can actually contribute to this space, then you should, definitely pursue. And on a long-term basis, I feel you will do good. So because this space has great potential.
When you started initially, you spoke about LinkedIn as well. And you also started with a Facebook group that got 300 odd organic members, but then you stopped it. So what did that teach you about the creator economy a little bit?
So that was the biggest mistake that I did as a creator. It happened back in 2020, right? So I just joined Flipkart at that time. And then I started this Facebook group, obviously to help people from my domain, right? With interviews and all. But at that time, initially I put out like 1-2 YouTube videos, and then it got me like 200, 300 people joining my Facebook group, right? So that was amazing. Like 200, 300 people at that time, it was amazing. I felt like, I made it like that, because 200 people are listening to you, right? That's a big deal. At that time, it was a big deal for me. But then what happened, like I was not very serious about it, right? I just, did it for fun or something. So I was not very serious. So I just, after some time, like I just, stopped posting there, right? So that's what happened. But in terms of teaching, what I feel is, the timing is a big factor in content creation. So, if you ask me what's the best time to start content creation, I would say it's now, right? It's not tomorrow. It's not the day after. It's not after a week. It's now, because the timing, even one day matters here. So if I feel that if I would have started content creation back in 2020, I would have been much bigger than what I am today. Because timing is a very big factor. It matters a lot. It's like a compound interest, you see, right? So, yeah.
So perks though we spoke about already, but I want to ask you, I know revealing a number might be difficult, but as much as you can reveal, when you were leaving Google, what was the annual package like?
Okay. So I can't reveal the exact number, but then I can give you an idea of it, right? So, it depends on different roles and all everything. But if you talk about me and similar kind of roles like software engineers kind of thing, so you can probably, like, the ranges are very high actually. But then, you can say that as a software engineer, if you're working at Google, you can get anywhere between, like, let's say, starting from 40 in a year, I'm saying. So 40 LPA, it can go up to 1.5 to, that's right.
Starting from 40 LPA?
Yeah. And when I say 1.2 and all, I'm talking about India. If you go to US or maybe UK,
फिर तो
so
डॉलर में,
yeah,
पाउंड में.
exactly, you know.
Wow. So from that level, let's get to the stage where you quit Google and content creation was the end all and be all.
Yeah.
What was that shift like? कभी ऐसा लगा था where at the end of the month or first week of the next month salary credited message नहीं आया? Did it kind of hit?
Yeah, I mean, initially, I would be very honest. Initially, it used to hit because I was so used to with that salary message, right? Every month and all. So when I left and after that, when I started creating content full time, right? So at that time, it used to hit because in content creation, you know, it's not like a fixed thing that you get at the end of the month, right? You have to factor that in when you are becoming a content creator, right? So it becomes very volatile, right? So in some months it becomes very high, in some months it becomes very low, right? It's going to be part of your journey, right? So that's going to be there. And for me also, initially when I started, it was there. It was definitely there. And I used to, you know, do a lot of doubts over my choice as well, right? I mean, initially the financial numbers were not that good, right? So I used to think like, oh, was it a right decision for me, right? Because there it was stable and everything. Right now, I don't know about next month and how should I figure out and everything, right? So it used to hit me a lot in the beginning, but then I realized that, you know, like if you have taken a decision, right? If you know there is potential, you should be working towards it. And over time, I realized that as a content creator, you should be focusing on stabilizing your income. So there are ways in which you can actually stabilize your income as a content creator as well. So I felt that you should be focusing more on those sides, right? So that you don't have to deal with that income, you know, volatility that comes with it.
So let's take it a little stage by stage. That big salary of Google, then very uncertain income, then income started streaming in, and then dhire dhire dhire, more than 5 6 figure income streams. How did that even happen?
Initially, I was not also aware with like what kind of income streams can be there, right? So initially, it was like it can be brand deals, it can be YouTube AdSense and like that. But later on, I figured out, I got to know that what all income streams can be there. And I also want to tell the audience like what all income streams that can be there that I myself have implemented. And I feel they also can implement this if they are getting started as a creator, right? So if you are in the education space, so I will properly, you know, cover the education space here, right? And I'm just leaving the fashion and other spaces, right? So we'll focus on that part. So let's say if you are an education creator, you can have like more than 5 streams of income and it can go up to like 7 8 as well, but I will cover only 5 here, right? First stream of income is the conventional brand deals, right? You know that brands approaches you and then you get a deal, right? They pay you some money for making that reel or YouTube video or mention like that. So that is the first way you can make money from the creator economy as a creator. Second thing is basically webinars. It can be another way of making money as a creator. So you can basically take webinars or master classes and people will pay you to join your webinar to get some value out of it, right? So that is something that is very easy to get started with. And I feel everyone should be doing that, right? If you know something in your domain, you should be doing that. So that can be a good avenue of your income streams, right? Third is basically courses. Everyone knows that. So basically the difference between webinar and courses are a self-paced, right? You can create a self-paced course and you can basically record your content once and then put it out in some platform. Let's say you can use Udemy for that, or maybe you can create your own website and host it there. Now, from there also, you can make a lot of money if you keep promoting it, right? But the effort from your side is going to be only on the marketing part of it, the promotion part of it, because you are recording it once and then selling it, right? So this can be the third way in which you can make money. Fourth way can be affiliate income, right? Now this is something that most people ignore. People think that affiliate is like, so for those who doesn't know about affiliate marketing, there is a company XYZ and they ask you to promote their course, right? Now if you are promoting their course and through your link someone purchases their course, right? Then you get a commission out of it. So that's how affiliate marketing works. Now, many people, many creator actually think that, this is not a good way of earning money. This cannot be big, right? But I personally know a lot of people, and I myself use this income stream, right? This can be really big. This can be really big. There are companies who can give you very good amount of commission that you can actually do. And then if you have volume, if your reels are reaching to a much wider audience, then it can be a great stream of income, right? Going to the next income stream, that can be community, right? Now, people don't understand the power of community, but so initially, like back 2 years back, people used to create free communities, right? But today, in 2025, people are not creating free communities. They are creating paid communities because they are assuring you that we will be giving you value and you should be paying us a small amount for that, right? And it's justified. I feel it's justified, right? So many creators are actually creating communities. So you can create a paid community and ask your audience to pay some amount of money so that they can become part of that community, and you can post videos there. You can actually take sessions over there, right? So they can get all those values out of that, right? So this can be another big stream of income if you're talking about creator incomes, right? So I think, yeah, these can be, different streams of income that as a creator you can create. And if you are going into like 4, 5, 6 streams of income, then I feel like you can pretty much stabilizes the whole thing, right? The income thing, the financial side of it.
Rishab, in short, tell me, was there one particular invoice that when you were filling out and sending that made you think, okay, maybe it was not the wrong decision, maybe it was the right decision?
Yeah, it happened. Like, so after getting into this journey of content creation, like let's say after like 6 months, 8 months down the line, so I signed a, deal with a brand for a, like multiple brand deals. Like it's like for multiple reels, like they wanted to promote their product multiple times. So I got that, and when I was filling that invoice, right? So then I felt that, okay, no, now it's making more sense. That is something that is there. And there was another moment, actually, this was one. There was another moment when, I took a masterclass, and
As in you were conducting it?
Yeah, I was conducting it, right? And so many people were attending it, right, at that time. So I don't know, like in my other masterclasses, I always used to feel like, let's go and give value. Let's go and solve their problems. Like whatever they're asking, let's do it. I always used to have this kind of mindset before entering it. But then when I was having this masterclass, then I literally thought like so many people are attending it, man. This is really amazing, right? Let's just leave that financial part of it for now. At that moment, I just felt like, this is amazing. You are taking a masterclass, you are trying to say something, trying to give some value here, and then so many people are interested in that, right? Financial factor is definitely there, but this was the moment when I felt like, yeah, this decision was probably right.
Tell me something, off the top of my head, I'm thinking that should small businesses then follow a more creative first approach to gather that audience and then turn them into customers?
Absolutely. I think if I have to start a business today, right, I should not be going in the traditional way. What I would do, first, I will create an Instagram account, right? Second, I would tell my story. I would tell people from where I'm coming from, what led me to this business, what led me to creating this product, right? How this product can actually help my audience, right? That is something that I will do. And the third thing that I will do, I will tell my audience how this product can actually solve your problem, right? So if you are facing this problem, then this product is perfect for you. That is something that I will do. And the fourth pillar of it that I will do is to educate my audience. Like even if I am into skincare brand, let's say, and I am selling sunscreens only, but then I will be educating my audience that, why you should be using moisturizers, right? Why you should be using face washes, right? So that kind of thing I will be doing so that my audience, know that this guy actually cares about us, right? Then they will have more trust. So I feel if you are a small business, you should definitely go with a creator first approach and then you should follow all the steps. So I think that would lead to more, I won't say conversions, right? Conversions is like secondary thing, but that would lead to more trust in your brand.
Before we move to our very exciting round, the rapid fire round, I want to ask you one question because you pretty much mastered it all. You Google job, you can't really get above that when it comes to a tech job. Then you started your content creation journey, which is going so well right now. Your masterclasses, the entire audience in front of you that you speak to, they relate to you, they connect with you. If one has to ask you, say, one or two pieces of advice to a youngster who's looking to get into the same field, content creation, but is nervous, should I leave my job? Should I not do a job at all? What are the finances going to be like? Where is the income going to come from? What will the one or two pieces of advice be?
I manifested the creator economy back then. If I have to say for a beginner, right, who is starting this content creation journey, and if you need to take this decision, whether you are going to leave your job and then start content creation or not, then I would suggest you, don't take a random decision, right? I mean, everyone on the internet is saying that leave your job and start content creation. Don't do that, right? Because you have to take care of the finances as well, right?
You got to pay the bills.
Yes, you're going to pay your bills. Now, the thing is, if you are at 100 followers or something like that,
you mean 100, right?
100. If you are at that level, let's say 100 or 200 or 300 followers, then you have to understand that you have to go a long way after that before you can actually make even a single rupee, right? So the thing is, you have to take a, proper decision here. You have to you have to have a realistic thought process here. Let's say if you are starting content creation today and you have a job, then my suggestion would be that you keep the job for now and then side by side you try out content creation as well. Do it part-time, right? If you want to outsource the whole process, let's say if you want to outsource the editing process, you can do that. That will save up time, right? So you do that. That's totally fine, right? But don't take a random decision of like, let's leave job and then do content creation, because that will ultimately, like, you will be leaving your job, and this is a bad job market going right now, right? So you will be leaving your job, and on the second day, you'll be doubting this, right? Because you are at 100 followers. So brands won't be approaching you. You won't be getting anything from YouTube AdSense. If you conduct masterclass, you won't be getting audience because you have only 100 people, right? There you can get like few people, but yeah. So you have to take a realistic decision here. You have to take that. So firstly, I would suggest that you should keep your job, continue this for some time, right? Once you get some amount of followers, then you should take that leap if you want to, right? Then you will have a broader idea of like from where your finances can come, right? From where you can earn. Once you have that idea in your mind, right? Then you can actually take that step.
Let's, in short, talk about the platforms a little bit. In short only. You have mastered all three: LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. Say somebody starting off content now, how different does the mindset, how different does it have to be as far as scripts are concerned, hooks are concerned, when it comes to LinkedIn, YouTube long form, and Instagram?
So I feel like all of these platforms are totally different, right? So if you are managing all three platforms, like you have to juggle between different kind of mindsets. Like if you, for example, if you come to Instagram is a quick consumption sort of platform,
exactly.
right?
The hook.
So yeah, the hook matters, right? So you, if the hook is not that good, you will scroll, right? So it's like you get 3 seconds of audience's time, right? And then within that, if you can impress that audience, then they will stay, they will watch your video, and then you probably get a follower, right? But if that's not the case, then your efforts are gone, right? So Instagram is a quick consumption platform. So in there, you have to think about grabbing the attention, right? More about grabbing the attention, making your videos like look attractive and all, right? That's there. Second is YouTube. So when coming to YouTube, YouTube is more about value-driven platform. Why? Because if you think the consumption pattern of Instagram and YouTube, for Instagram, you just open up Reels and Instagram shows you something.
Correct.
Right? It pushes something.
Absolutely.
And then you see that. For YouTube, it's different.
You search.
Yes, you search. Sometimes they give like suggestions, that's
Of course.
there, but you search it, right? So the need is coming from you. And when the need is coming from you, you want to get value.
Absolutely.
If you are not getting value, then that creator doesn't matter to you. But if you are getting value, then you will hit the subscribe button, right? And on YouTube, the subscribers are more loyal than Instagram followers. They stay.
True.
Right? If you hit, like, Korak, I want to ask you this question. Like last time, can you remember, like you have subscribed to a channel and then you went, after a few days, you went there and, unsubscribed that channel. Can you remember that kind of instance?
Oof. No, not really.
So that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But Insta unfollow is more
Yes.
common, lot more common.
Exactly. You have that option always. Just go there, unfollow. On YouTube, you don't do that because you remember it. Once you get value once from that channel, you will remember it. This channel is valuable. Let's keep following that. Maybe in the future, I will get more value. That's the thing. So that's about YouTube. And if I talk about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is totally different. Like the value part is definitely there. I would say value, you have to give value, that is there. Second thing is, I feel LinkedIn is more about growth, right? You have that growth mindset when you come to LinkedIn, right? Because initially people used to go to LinkedIn for job search, right? They used to go for networking, right? So when do you think about networking? When we want to grow. We want to, network with people, learn from them and grow our circle like that. So that growth mindset is always there in mind. Now, when you are creating content for LinkedIn, then you have to give that bit as well. You can't just say that, this is how you should be trading. That's there all over the place. Like on YouTube, that's there, on Instagram, that's there. So that growth path you have to set always, that bit you have to drop always. Otherwise, people will be like, this is, people are curating content from somewhere else and then dropping it on LinkedIn. So that kind of mindset comes. So I think for LinkedIn, if you are putting that growth bit there, then you can do well on the content side.
All right, talking about content side, it's now time for our rapid fire.
Okay.
Questions will be rapid, answers have to be even more rapid.
Okay, sure.
Not much time to think at all.
Cool.
First question, because we were talking about content. When it comes to content, is audio quality more important than video quality? Myth or fact?
100% fact.
Why?
Because sometimes it happens that you don't actually see the content properly, but you always listen to the audio, right? But if you don't like that audio, anyway, if you are showing the best video quality or like if you are putting out there and if you are showing like something amazing, then also people will be like, audio kharab hai, this is not sounding good. So audio, and this is something that I have experimented also, and I have found the result that with bad audio quality and good video quality, it doesn't work. So yeah.
All right, your go-to tech tool or app that you cannot work without?
I do a lot of note takings because I do write ideas and script and all. So for that, I do use two apps. One is Apple Notes, that is there. It's very simple. And the second thing is it's called Good Notes, right? Secondly, I use Toggle a lot. There is an app called Toggle, which is for time tracking. So you just start your timer and then see how much time you are taking for this task, right? This like that. I use Trello a lot. Trello is for project management and stuff. So I do use that. Then usual stuff like Gmails and calendar and all.
If YouTube tomorrow suddenly disappeared, which platform would you switch to immediately?
It would be LinkedIn or Insta. Anything in between.
Gun to your head, one.
Okay. Then it has to be LinkedIn.
Okay, why?
Because again, I talked about the value bit of it, right? So I do create educational content. So for me, I believe that LinkedIn would be the best platform here, right? From an educational perspective, if we are comparing it with YouTube. So on YouTube also, it's the value bit, and I can just take that from YouTube and then put it on LinkedIn. So that is there. But I feel when you talk about, shutting a platform down and then moving to something else, I think there is one more approach which is fabulous thing, but people don't know about it, right? That is, like if let's say you are creating content on YouTube right now, right? People think that, okay, I will be creating content on YouTube and maybe I will move to Insta later and all that thing. But what they miss out is basically the audience, right? What will happen? If today YouTube shuts down, you lose all the audience that were there, that were listening, right? Now, if you want to retain that, what you should be doing? You should be building an email list out of that. You can give out free products. You can, for your, let's say, some session sort of thing, you can just gather emails, right? Free sessions and all. You can gather those emails, right? Because each email ID is a person, is a human being, right? Now, if you have all those email IDs with you, if let's say YouTube shuts down tomorrow, you still have those email IDs. You can still reach out to those people and then say, hey, YouTube has shut down. I have moved to LinkedIn. Now, if you want to get connected with me, this is how you can do it, right? I can immediately reach out to those audience, and those audience were loyal. If they were loyal on YouTube, they will immediately follow me on LinkedIn as well. So I can basically pick them up from there and then move it here. I won't be losing out on that audience, right? So I think that's a smart strategy you should be doing, regardless of the platform, be it Insta, be it YouTube, be it anything. You should be doing that.
Good advice. One income stream you think every creator should start with?
I think it should be masterclasses or webinars.
If you had to start from 0 subscribers today, what's the first type of video that you would make?
A type of video which caters to the problem of masses.
And you would try to solve that.
Yes.
One thing you learned at Google that most creators are still sleeping on?
I think it would be the power of community.
One creator habit or influencer habit that everyone glorifies that actually is a massive scam. Genre to genre differently.
Yeah.
Like when a lot of brands initially would approach me because entertainment and products and fashion.
Yeah.
So a lot of them would approach saying barter initially. For those who don't know, barter collaboration is when a product is sent to you, you have to promote that, there's no money involved,
Yeah.
you're just getting the product. But your genre was different.
Yeah.
It was education. So what was the barter collaboration in that like? What did they offer?
Okay, so in education, you are right. So if we talk about fashion, then it's going to be like dresses or makeup products and all that. But in education, what happens is like they give you access to their platform and they ask you like, you should be promoting our platform. It's like that. So that's kind of barter collaboration happens all the time. And then in education also, there are like other peripherals things, like let's say keyboard or mouse or something like that. They send you those products and they say like, okay, let's promote that, right? So I think that's that I won't say scam, but that's something that people should avoid. See, if you are starting your journey at that time, it's fine. But later on, I feel like you should be focusing on the long-term game, not on this part.
What is a polite response that they can give?
You should be, there is no polite way to tell this, that you have to be very clear about this, that I don't do barter collaboration, right? That is one thing. Second thing is, if they're approaching for barter collaboration, right? What you can say is that, okay, if you're giving me this product, I can lower down my, charges. Yeah, that I can do for this. But yeah, I feel like you should not be doing it completely barter. So yeah.
Pay something, but pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you rather go back to Google with a 1 crore salary or stay a full-time creator with unpredictable income but total freedom for the rest of your life?
I don't have a short answer for this because I feel like it's not about the money part of it, it's about the interest. See, the thing is, if tomorrow I feel I want to work on something that Google is the best place to be there and work on that particular thing, let's say something related to AI. Now we know that Google is doing amazing on the AI front, right?
Absolutely.
So if I want to work on that side, I'm happy to join them back again. That's totally fine. But that depends on my interest, right? Right now, my interest is on this side because I see more potential here. So I'm just here.
Would you rather lose all your past videos overnight or lose all your future content ideas overnight?
Prefer to lose all my future content ideas.
Interesting.
Yeah. That would be my
Elaborate.
choice. Okay. I do have a lot of ideas in my head right now on which I can create content for like, let's say next month, 2 months down the line. Let's say I forget all those things. It can be the thing.
Full Gajni, Sayara.
Right.
Continue.
Let's say that is there, right? Now what I would be doing after that? What I would be doing, I would go to Instagram, check all my past videos, see what has worked before, right?
Basically the tattoos. Continue.
Yes, that's the thing. That is already written there, right? Now from there, I can just pick up topics, right? This video has worked, this topic has worked, right? I can just come up with like 30 videos, right? Out of that. Once I put those 30 videos, then naturally I will be in the flow again, right? But if I lose out on the old data, right? I'm talking about data, not videos. We're talking about data here. If we lose out on the videos or data, then, like even if I have those ideas, that's limited. That's going to be there for 60 days. After that, what I will be doing? I don't have any other data points to work with, right?
Rishab, that was such an interesting conversation with you. I mean, I myself, I'm not even a hardcore content creator, but got to learn so much about it. I'm dead sure you guys as well. Do tell us in the comments which were your favorite parts. How was the podcast for you?
Yeah, it was amazing for me actually. So this is the first time I'm actually doing a proper podcast on the creator economy. So I have done podcast on tech and career and everything, but I've never done podcast on the creator economy, breaking it down, how does it work and all. So thank you so much for doing this. I really enjoyed the podcast.
Thank you so much. It was absolutely our delight to have you here. What a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and what a wonderful conversation. You guys tell us in the comments, did you find it to be? And of course, for more such content just like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our channel, ABCD of Money. This is me, Korak Roy. I'll see you guys in the next one.